This video is made for mature audiences. Parental discretion is strongly advised. Thank you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's promo. Today we are doing a promo for Galactic Bulwark Strike. Galactic Bulwark Strike is a very minimalistic little physics-based, arcadey, retro 80s style video game. In a nutshell, if anybody's ever played a game called Arkanoid, where you're piloting a platform and bouncing a ball up to break bricks, similar idea, only instead of bricks, you're fighting aliens and spaceships. The game has some power-ups and things, and has a slight variance on how you can play the game every time. It's designed to be played in short bursts, very easy game to get into. Not a whole lot that you really have to learn about the game. It's just a matter of just swinging your paddle back and forth, and then trying to make as high a score as possible. In that regards, I think the game does a really good job. There's a couple of things in the game that, like I said, you can do upgrades. There's also a leaderboard, and then there's a series of feats, which are achievements for those of you who like doing achievement hunting, that tells you exactly what you need to do to accomplish this. There's plenty of stuff in here for everybody. It's a little bit competitive. Definitely a speedrunnable game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. We're gonna go ahead and fire up a few games. This will probably be relatively short. I don't expect this to take 1.5 hours or so. Anyway, controller compatible, and thankfully the controller works. Although you don't need very much. You can just basically left and right and a couple other things. But yeah, you could adjust sound effects and volume, music volume. I've adjusted that down. It has a full screen option, which obviously works really well. As you can see, it's like I said, it's very 80s-ish, 90s-ish, early 90s type of game where yeah, everything is just, you know, minimalistic and stuff. So all the feats, I played it a couple times, so I've unlocked a chunk of these, but basically there's 30 feats in the game, and it pretty much tells you what you need to do. So it's like, it's being a little weird here. Right? So yeah, like it says, striker, get a score higher than 10,000, get a score higher than 100,000, get a score higher than 1,000,000. Make a combo of various scores. The one hit thing is like the ball that you control does damage, so do more than 10,000 in a single hit. Don't judge me about my Mountain Dew. And then of course like upgrading and various stuff like that. And then there's some of them are a little bit like bizarre, a little bit harder to do, but you know, yeah, it's a little bit for everybody. A little bit for everybody in there. Daily run, it's like once a day you make a high score as you can and challenge other people in the community that play the game. So we're gonna do daily run first, so I can give you guys a quick upgrade, quick idea of how the game runs. So you see, you got the ball right there. So there's a couple things. Physics, you have to bounce the ball. You get power-ups in between. All these say 3 on them because I've got everything maxed out already. But you can pick up various things. So like this one here says laser. Every time the ball hits the ship, you fire a beam. This one says every time you hit the wall, the borders, it'll fire a beam. This one shoots a straight shot. We're gonna get this one. So yeah, you see how that works? So you bounce the ball around. Use the weapons that you have, and yeah, it's just physics, pretty much. Can you angle the ball correctly to hit as much stuff as you can, collect all the score bubbles? And it's a very short game. There's only like 9 stages altogether, and they all variously get harder because, you know, introduce some new stuff. Whoa! Yeah, like that right there, I almost lost the ball. So yeah, you can do damage either with the beams that you get, or projectiles, or, you know, straight up with the ball. The ball does the most damage. but it also means you actually have to physically contact something with it. So it's a little bit of like Pong meets Arkanoid meets Space Invaders. A little bit of a score rush style game. And then you hit that warp zone, and in between you get these artifacts, and you can do things like this one says the ball does more damage. This one says if you have shields, which I don't have, you do more damage. This one, the enemies can't hurt you. The ball will move faster, but if it falls, it does 3 times damage. Every time you lose the ball, you lose 1 part. So this basically means I'm a one-shot. I'll take the adamantine in case to make the ball stronger. And I said, it gets gradually harder as it goes along. So a combination of artifacts that you pick up and the power-ups that you select will determine how hard or easy the game is. Like, there's not really a right way or wrong way to play the game. However, you can't pick what power-ups you start with, so there's a little bit of a roguelike element there, just a basic one, randomizer, or whatever you want to call it. I like this laser, even though it's like you have to wait for the ball to hit, because of the fact that you can use it to sweep. So if you're really good about bouncing the ball around, you can combine bouncing the ball around with like using the laser to sweep the enemies out, and you can clear the levels pretty fast that way. And then if the ball gets stuck up there like it does there, it will clear the enemies out for you. So it's all about, you know, planning and doing and comboing everything. And then hitting the warp zone to get out to the next level. So now it says I can recover 1 health, but I have max health. I can increase my damage, but I'll take double damage, which means I'll lose 2 hearts. And then this one says overall damage increases a little health. Now these curse items, there is an achievement or a feat for those if you collect them and you can beat the game with them. I'm actually going to take this one. Let's go for it. Now we're getting what's called a Bulwark, which is basically the boss battle. Basically what you want to do with these is you want to like hit the weak spots. And in this case you can bounce the ball off or use your projectile. Or a combination of both. You actually kind of want to do both. And if you do it right, very quick. Like it happened there. And then hit the warp zone and get your next power up. Now I can choose between a gun that shoots as I fire, fires as I move. The ball will actually turn into like a Tesla orb, or I'll get bumpers, which kind of are like the bumpers in a pinball machine where they'll bounce your ball back up. So we'll do this. Now you see I got like a Tesla, like a Tesla ball going. Not only will the ball do damage when it hits, it'll have this little electric field that'll do additional damage as it flies, which is really handy. When you first start the game up, you only have everything at level 1. Like I've got everything at level 3. It doesn't take long to level stuff up. Like, it all is based on how many points you make. If you make a lot of points, you can unlock a lot of upgrades, and the upgrades are really quick. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of upgrades, which means that after you unlock everything, there's no more stuff to upgrade. There's only like a dozen things to upgrade. So now we have, you can do a whole bunch of damage, but when the game reaches the 7-minute mark, you die, no matter what. Increase projectile fire, the laser approach is not affected by that, and then increase the size. We'll go ahead and take that. This that way there, the paddle's a little bit bigger. And I say, if you're really good with holding your aim when you get stuff like this laser, it can be really easy to get through this. And remember, it is physics, so if you undershoot, it's not going to go very far. Wider laser, but you move slower. Hitting the ball gives you a higher combo, or you can spawn 3 balls at once. I'm gonna do this one. Oh, multiple balls at once, not 3 balls. Alright, next Bulwark, because we've already passed, you know, we're already up to stage 6. And this is a matter of trying to destroy the guns on the side. So that one had guns you had to destroy, and then this here is a matter of just bouncing the balls. Sometimes you get lucky and you can dribble the balls like that. So now we have the next power up. We can add shields. We can add homing missiles, so we can make the ball hit for obscene amounts of damage. We'll go ahead and do that. And ball turns red and you see how much more damage it does now. So now it does like umpteen thousand damage when it hits. So if you hit like these green things, for instance, they have a lot of health, but if you can hit it with that ball, and remember, we got multiple balls, if we get lucky. And if we're lucky enough, we can get like 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember, like it's hard juggling them. But you can juggle them enough to get multiple balls. As you can see right there, that was really cool. Bounce you back the other way, there we go. It says every 15 seconds another one will bounce out, so... Alright, next one. Increase your score, reduce your damage. Increase projectile damage, you don't have projectiles. So this one is, if your health is down to 0, you'll revive. We'll go ahead and take that. Oh, and we got 3 balls now. How good is your juggling skills? And I just took damage. I ran into a laser. Look at that, I'm down. Because I took that one curse earlier, I'm already down to 1 health. And I just lost my protection, so I'm down to my last life already. Downside of taking a curse sometimes. Alright, so... brutally increase the ball damage, reduce projectile fire. Yeah. We'll do this since we don't have projectiles. Now this last Bulwark has targets that you have to hit on the side first. But in order to hit the targets, we have to get rid of these green things first. And once we do, it opens up the stages. So this is stage 1. This is stage 2. We have to hit the targets again. And deal with the stupid green things again. Oh! And there it is, game over. So yeah, you can do upgrade weapons. The weapons based on the scores, like 500,000, like 50,000, 300,000, something like that. So you can see I've got all 9 of them already done, so. And then you hit play again to restart. So it's a very quick and easy game. But, you know, it's something that, you know, you can play in small chunks. Let's do the dual cannon this time. So this one's just a straight shot. But it fires automatically. So you don't have to worry about pressing the button. It'll just fire for you. All you gotta do is control your paddle and the ball trajectory. And then the shots will take care of the rest for you. So if you're good about like launching the ball and using your projectiles to clear space, I just lost the ball. If you're good about using your projectiles to clear everything and then keeping your ball moving in the right trajectory, you can like really do some damage with this too. and then just use the collision to help move the ball around. So you see like how I kind of like, I didn't clear everything, the ball sort of just traveled in between everything. Alright, so enemies can't hurt you, ball moves faster, but it causes 3 times damage. Now let's do the adamantium case again, because why not? Yeah, one of the things about this, you have to collect those little boxes or bits or whatever you want to call them. Oops, I lost the ball again. Fortunately, sometimes, like you said, because it's physics-based, if you don't hit the ball the right way to keep the speed up, it just sort of flounders. And then you don't get to do anything except for watch the ball fall into the abyss. See, now right there, the projectile came in handy because I could do that. Get the ball sort of caught in the middle of everything in the top of the map, and just wipe everything out, make a lot of extra points, because you do get points for comboing by continually hitting things before you hit the paddle again. So if you manage to do it right, you can make a huge combo just by bouncing off the stuff. Alright, I'm gonna get my some of my health back here. Remember, this little score bubbles or bits or whatever you want to call them will wait for you. Now using a projectile weapon like this actually comes in really handy sometimes, because you can kind of just stand underneath and each bullet does its own damage. And you can't really see it because my little header's covering at the top, but there's a bunch of 35s and the occasional 100 with the ball. So I'm shooting like 7 or 8 projectiles there. So it's 8 times 35 plus 100 for every time the ball touches it. So you do rack up some damage pretty quick. Alright, so now we have... Let's do kinetic gun. Let's go ahead and just get crazy. So you see now when I move, I have another projectile that shows up. And that actually does a remarkable amount of damage. But it only shoots when you're moving. So if you're good about, you know, traveling underneath your ball, you can use that to just kind of like spray some extra damage as you're flying through. And then use your use the cannon that's always constantly firing just to kind of keep the damage going. It helps keep everything clear too. As if you're really good about moving around and you're able to keep track of your ball. This is a very effective combination of weapons. You just have to make sure you don't put yourself in a situation where you can't catch a ball. And there we go. So yeah, now we can use the turbine overclock. And you need to see how everything's shooting a little bit faster now. Everything shoots a little bit faster now, so you're in effect, you know, more DPS, more damage. Especially the kinetic one where you're moving around. That one just will spray the hell out of the whole map in front of you. Wider lasers, we don't want that. Let's go ahead and do the cloning device again. Let's give ourselves more balls. Now we want to try to, I want to try to get like right underneath one of the launchers and start wrecking it. Especially if I can keep moving while this is going. Now the thing has a center laser, so I gotta be careful about that. Now I lost another hit point in there, but having all those bullets helped out. And ultimate projectile. Let's get the homing missiles. So now we're entirely a projectile-based, little projectile-based, crazy little ship. You know. And we're just shooting tons of stuff. And that's it. We hit the laser, so we did it again. Like I said, it's a very simple, minimalistic game, but you know, it's pretty fun. Like I say, you can spend a half hour to an hour on this game. You know, a couple hours in this game. Now let's see, wall laser. I'm gonna do wall laser just to show you this one. So wall laser is a little bit different. You have to do that. You have to do a lot of bouncing off the side to get the laser to fire. So on top of the whole, you know, using the laser to clear things, and using the ball to do damage, and making sure it still jumps up high enough to collect all the scoring bubbles. You have to make sure that you're... Oh, crap. You have to make sure you're bouncing it enough where you can get access to all the lasers. Like, if it hits the top, it'll also, like, shoot another laser, so... If you happen to do it like that right there, where it's like bouncing off of multiple surfaces, it'll shoot multiple lasers. Now this weapon is pretty strong, but like I said, because it's limited to, you know, you're ricocheting across the map there, you have to make sure that you know you're able to move around a lot better. That's the one that you have to move around a lot more. And sometimes you may not get the laser when you want it because of the way the ball bounces. And like I said, it makes it a little bit harder to like actually collect stuff sometimes because you have to really use the ball damage to get around. The nice thing is though, when the ball hits stuff, it kind of keeps going. So it's actually, like I said, as long as you can control the physics, eventually you'll figure it out, and then do stuff like that. See, it bounced off the ceiling twice, so it gave me an extra laser. And because I'm like bouncing it off of, you know, like I said, you bounce it like that, and it just keeps going and going and going. Let's go ahead and do a patch. Now, fighting a Vanguard like this one can be a little bit harder because, like I said, you don't get the laser unless you're bouncing it. So you almost do entirely ball damage here. Which isn't a bad thing. Because, like I said, that laser will do some damage. This is one of those times if you know how to dribble the ball sideways, you can do a lot of really cool damage. It's actually really hard to do the sideways dribble. And see, as long as the ball even touches the core, even if it just glances it, it'll do all kind of damage. Okay, like right here, this is like what I was talking about, like kind of like dribbling the ball now. See, I dribbled the ball there, and I was able to keep bouncing it off the walls and doing all sorts of extra damage with the laser. Alright, let's go ahead and get the electric ball. A lot of bonus damage there. Woo! See what I mean about the laser if you get lucky? Just if you can keep hitting the edges, you'll clean up because it'll keep bouncing. So it's like right here. Oh, I didn't quite get it. Like right here, I'll use the lasers to my advantage there to do some extra damage. And then get the ball stuck up in the corner and just get multiple ricochets off the wall. Nice, easy game, guys. This is a really easy game. Once you figure out the mechanics of it, it's just all about, like, you know, how well you can score this one. Are you able to keep moving? That little Tesla action going with the ball there. Woo! The ball kind of got stuck up in there. When I was telling somebody else, it's like a mad scientist had a disco experiment and he just decided to go crazy. Buy the shield. Let's get that laser going. Oops. Oh, this is going to be fun. If I can get it back up there. That right there hurt, and that whole thing because you got. Whoa! And I just totally missed that. I did not mean to do that, but. Kind of think of it a little bit like tennis too. Like the better the angle you hit the ball, the more likely you're going to do damage. Yeah, I'm getting caught in between lasers there. Oh, down to my last life again. Oh well. Since this is my last life, let me go ahead and take the curse and try to see how much damage I can do with the Bulwark. Come on. There we go. And these enemies kind of keep coming, so you have to make sure you hit these targets as fast as you can. Here we go, third stage. And there we go. I had to run into the laser again. Nice, it's a very quick, easy game, guys. Like I said, it's only a couple bucks. So like, let's go ahead and get the big light beam again. That one kind of went over the moon there. Come on. Boop! And so you have to pay attention to the balls that, you know, like, this is a good game for, like, you know, to stream with because it's a short game and it's easy to talk about it. Like the pauses, you can pause the game pretty easily. See, what I did was I took the thing that says that I can't get hurt, but if the ball drops, it's going to kill me. So I got to be careful not to let the ball drop. And yeah, here, this one, if I take it, then even if I have a shield, it's a one-shot. So let's go ahead and increase the damage again. Okay, so which means I can't drop the ball once. But as a consequence, I'm going to do a butt-ton more damage. And that's it. Yeah, guys, you know, let's try this one more time. Go back to dual cannon. See if we can collect power. We can see if we can collect points on our way through here. And do this just right. Yeah, that was flat. Sometimes if you're like hitting the ball in the same direction, it's a good idea to hit it the other way. because the way that works is like the ricochet value, you lose the angle over it over time. So if you're hitting it in the same direction as traveling, you actually lose the angle on it. So sometimes it's better just to like smack it in the other direction, or try to like sit under it and not tilt when you're smacking it, so you get a little bit of extra ricochet off the wall or something like that, like I just did there. Or give it just a gentle tap, like just, you know, just tilt it slightly. If you do like a big tilt like that, then, you know, you can send it flying across the map. It's like right there, I didn't get a whole lot of height, and that one went underneath. You don't get a whole lot of height sometimes because you didn't hit it the right way. And then sometimes that happens where you don't get any momentum at all. You have to hit it a couple of times and get it back. Jeez, I lost the ball again. And then sometimes you can save it like I did there, where you can like hit it a couple of times and it'll just like sort of like pop up. Lots of like little like micro movements you can make to really improve like how the ball moves in this particular game. And sometimes if you get really lucky, you can kind of like keep the ball in the middle. And just kind of ricochet off of the core like I did there. Oh geez, I just lost it. It's like the bumpers, it gives you those safety nets. So if it does fall to the side, it'll catch it, and they do regenerate. So if you happen to lose one, they don't go away forever. They just take some time. It's kind of like the multi-ball. It takes like 15-20 seconds for them to regenerate. So you want to make sure that you're covering yourself. It's actually kind of hard when you have the multi-ball because then you lose them a lot faster. This is better for like just like one single powerful ball instead of like a bunch of multi-balls. Although with the multi-ball, it does help you keep them up longer, so there is that. Give me my point bubbles. Alright. I'm gonna take this one, like hit the angle to increase the combo every time it bounces off the wall. Like it'll increase your combo counter a little bit. See, fighting this boss though with the bumpers is actually kind of easy because you can let the. I was gonna say you can let the bumper save you, but there it didn't. We'll do one more here. Let's see if I can get to the end and actually beat this thing. Beating it's not that hard. It's just getting the kernel and then doing the damage. We'll take the kinetic gun this time. So you just have to be careful with the kinetic gun though, because like you do get to that sense of I have to keep moving to keep shooting, so you have to make sure to stop once in a while when you're using it, or just do little wiggle moves. Ah, jeez, that was bad. I almost lost the ball there. And there we go, lost the ball. And so that was where the kinetic gun kind of gets you sometimes. And if you get lucky with the kinetic gun, then you can do that. Alright, I gotta pound this thing up there. Right, there we go. And let's just do electric ball. Armored skin adds a shield. I actually kind of need that, so let's go ahead and take armor. It is possible to get 4 armor and 3 health for a total of 7 health. So there is a feat for it if you can have 7 health and then be at the end of the game with all 7 health. Oh! Almost took a missile to the face there. Now, the nice thing about Sagatar with the kinetic gun is if you can keep the ball kind of above you and just kind of wiggle around, you can do all kind of crazy damage. Or that'll happen. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much this game in a nutshell. Like I said, it's a very straightforward, easy game to play. There's no real frills or anything about it. It's just all straight up, just action, zen. Have fun with it, and it's a pretty easy game. Like I said, it's something you can play a couple minutes, play for an hour, get that get yourself in a little bit of game time, and then move on and do something else with it. For what it's worth, it's it's $3. You'll get replay out of it just because it's one of those games that you want to keep trying to challenge yourself to do better and do better and do better. And the game's about 1.5 years old. And yeah, it's just fast paced and easy. Something like I said, something you play for it's a good game to play when you don't have a whole lot of time. You really don't want to do anything too stressful, and then you can play a game like this and have fun with it. So for everybody here on Twitch, thank you very much for hanging out and chilling. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, again, everything is in the description boxes down below. Make sure to like, share, and hit follow on Facebook and YouTube. Everybody on Twitch, hang out. We'll have new games. So everybody else, you have a good one. I'll see you on the next promo.